What's going on, guys? It's Michael on GF, and today I'm going to be doing another custom LEGO minifigure showcase video to celebrate tonight's release of Wonder Woman. And so, of course, for this video, we've got Diana Prince herself, Wonder Woman in her Amazonian outfit, and Steve Trevor, but no Ares. And I talked about it a lot on my vlog channel, but basically I decided that I would redirect all my efforts towards a couple other sets of minifigures instead, and hopefully you guys can understand. But after waiting since 2015 for Wonder Woman, and now the embargo has lifted and we've been hearing nothing but absolutely amazing things about the movie, I would totally recommend you don't read the comments down below. There are probably bound to be plenty of spoilers, and so I would definitely read at your own risk if you care. Anyway, with that said, let's get started. Okay, so I'm sure the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of you, why did I make Diana in her Amazonian outfit? And the simple answer is that her costume in Wonder Woman 100 years prior is so similar to her costume in BVS and Justice League that I decided if I made her in her standard costume now, and then also in Justice League in November, I would basically have made two of the same figure, and the figure in this video really wouldn't have been all that unique from the one I'll make in November. So, of course, in Wonder Woman, her costume, it's a little bit brighter in some areas. She's got a different sword, different shield, but I still ultimately decided that I would wait until Justice League in November to make a version 2 of Diana in her main armor. So, yeah, but going about the making of her in her Amazonian outfit was pretty straightforward, right? You have the painted face, you know, area-like curved torso with all kinds of painted details, 3D straps, tiny tactical glove tops, you know, a modded Cape Madness waist cape, but it was the hairpiece that I really was definitely uncertain about, because originally I was going to use a LEGO Friends Joanna hairpiece, but ultimately, even though I ordered one on Bricklink and it was already coming, I decided that I would take a Ray hairpiece, sand off all 3 buns, and then sculpt my own ponytail. Spent an entire night doing that, but it worked out a hell of a lot better than my original idea with that LEGO Friends hairpiece, and I'm so glad I did it, because this hairpiece really does top off the minifigure. So yeah, but back to the face, getting the likeness to Gal Gadot was something that I thought was going to be really difficult, and it was. Even though I managed to get it the first attempt, it was a little bit difficult, and I got as far as everything on the face being on there. The eyebrows were positioned right, they were the right size, the lower lip was shaped correctly. I had everything I wanted on this face, but there was something that wasn't clicking, and so I actually added these 2 little marks in between her eyebrows, and that made all the difference and really made the face come full circle, and now I could not be more proud of this likeness to Gal Gadot. So yeah, then the area-like curved torso. Let me just actually talk about the accessories, get them out of the way. Her Godkiller sword, it's a Brick Arms, I don't remember, but I took one of these swords from Brick Arms. I trimmed down the wrist guard a little bit, painted it up, painted a little bit down here on the bottom, and I think it definitely passes as a pretty acceptable version of the Godkiller sword. I'm satisfied with it anyway. Then the shield is from the new Wonder Woman set that came out in May with Ares. I forget the name of the set because I didn't review it, but I took this shield, and you might notice I didn't add any battle damage or anything to it, because in every screen grab that I have at all my reference, this is a pretty clean shield throughout the whole movie. I mean, if it does get damaged at all, I'm guessing it must be in the 3rd act or something, because like I said, I certainly can't find anything where it has any significant battle damage on it. So left it clean, but we're going to remove these accessories for right now so I can give you a better look at the rest of the minifigures. So yeah, the area-like curved torso, fully painted with 3D elements, 3D straps, one of which actually starts at the top of the torso and wraps all the way around to the back. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and remove the hairpiece too, so you can see the full torso. And yeah, so I actually came up with this like golden brown color that is used as like the base of her outfit, and then the straps are a metallic brown color, which is the first time I've used that, and I think it, you know, it definitely serves the minifigure really well here. And then you can see all that detail does go around all the way to the back, and I'm pretty sure the back is accurate. I had to base it off of an action figure and like an Instagram video, but I think I got it. And then you might notice that the gauntlets are somewhat familiar, and that is because you might have seen them before on LEGO's Wonder Woman. Now, of course, this is not the first time LEGO has used these, but basically I took the gauntlets from one of these Wonder Woman minifigures, and they did also have these same arms on the BVS Wonder Woman, and I did what I also did last year for BVS, and I continued the design around the rest of each arm, and so that includes additional, you know, silver and gold sections and little bits of, you know, little tiny straps. And then, of course, I also did paint up a pair of tiny tactical glove tops for Diana here, and I think think they work out perfectly for this minifigure. So yeah, then the waist cape is a modified Cape Madness waist cape, and basically the way I went about it was I took a standard Cape Madness waist cape, but then I had to pretty much figure out the outline of, you know, what little jagged bits I wanted to cut out, and instead of making it look random, I wanted to make sure it was precise and as accurate as I could get it. So while looking at reference, I painted that outline on the very bottom edge of the waist cape, and then I just cut the whole thing out with scissors, and I ended up getting the exact shape I wanted to. Painted the whole thing up in tan, and then all the individual lines that followed were all painted on, and that was definitely the most time-consuming part about making the probably the whole figure, to be honest with you, if I'm not counting the face. So yeah, but just to give you an idea of how Cape Madness waist capes look if you pull them off, they come off in this one. This one specifically goes on the legs in like 3 separate sections. You can kind of see all of those like right there. So if you haven't seen a Cape Madness waist cape before, that's pretty much how that works. But now that we have the waist cape off, you can see the legs. They actually started out as Luke back to tank legs. I brassoed off all the designs on the thighs, and then I went ahead and I painted on all these straps that wrap around all 4 sides of the minifigure's legs. And aside from that, I mean, it's a pretty basic design. Her legs are mostly made up of straps, obviously minus the simplistic knee pads that I do have painted on there. The straps, they overlap onto those knee pads. Little gold buttons are painted on. So that's pretty much it for Wonder Woman, or the Princess of Themyscira, Diana Prince, or she's not Diana Prince yet. There she is. So, Steve Trevor, the figure that almost didn't happen. After I decided I wouldn't make Ares, I was pretty skeptical on a Steve Trevor just because of how close Spider-Man Homecoming was getting, but thankfully I finished Diana in a timely fashion to where I had a few extra days to make Steve Trevor, and I knew I'd be able to do it too, because once I got past the face, I'd be able to handle the rest in a timely fashion as well. However, the face didn't work out as well as it did for Diana. I got Gal Gadot's likeness the first try, like I said, but Chris Pine, yeah, it took me about 5 or 6 attempts. It was pretty great. That took like a whole day, if not longer. So basically, it all came down. It all depended on the thickness of the eyebrows, the lines next to the eyes coming down just the right length, the curvature of the mouth. All those things factored in. I think I got pretty damn close, and I also think it's a hell of a lot better than Captain America's. So yeah. Now the hairpiece, I decided to go with this hairpiece because honestly, I think it is the best option. Now it doesn't mean I didn't try other hairpieces. There are a couple others that I did paint up, like this one. Didn't really think Commissioner Gordon's hairpiece worked out for Steve Trevor, so I decided against this one. I also threw on Star-Lord's hairpiece to see how this would look if I painted up an extra one for Steve Trevor. This wasn't really right, so I decided that the Mutt Williams hairpiece was definitely the best option and was closest to Chris Pine's hairstyle in the movie. So yeah, now the jacket, the coat is a modified Cape Madness trench coat, all fully painted and trimmed up, of course. And then I did also paint on the back here. I did paint this section in a tan color before weathering it heavily in dark brown to sort of simulate that like fur effect, because of course this part of his coat is fur in the movie. But then the front is just a lot of detail, a lot of you know, you got like 4 buttons here. You have all these little rivets on the flaps of the coat. But then these 3D pockets I did glue on and paint as well. But underneath that, on the painted torso, you can see I pretty much have everything that is a part of Steve Trevor's outfit in the movie. I do also have like that, all those lines individually painted on. That was probably the most time-consuming part about painting the torso, was that section toward the collar area. So yeah, and then he's also got a 3D strap underneath there as well. So moving on, you can see I do have some straps on his arms as well, and those were glued on, painted over, and then I also painted some buttons onto each of those, and I think those definitely add some really nice depth to the arms. And also, speaking of depth, I did add a pair of tiny tactical glove tops painted in dark brown because I think they work perfectly for Steve Trevor, of course, because he does have like big thick gloves in the movie. And then he also has a Brick Arms M1 911. I totally could have used a World War I shotgun from Brick Arms, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, I couldn't get one expressed here in time, so this will have to do. But moving on, you can see that I did paint some very minimal, like some very minimal detail onto the legs, if you can really even call it detail at all. It's more so just sections that I painted in like a beige color. I painted his shoes on with the bottom of each shoe. That's all painted around all 4 sides of the minifigure's legs, and then I just weathered all of it because that's really all there is to Steve Trevor's pants. It's really not overly complicated in the movie, and so I made sure that I wouldn't go too overboard with it on the figure here. So yeah, aside from all of that, that is it for Steve Trevor and Diana in her Wonder Woman, or in her Amazonian outfit. I can words. And with all that said, and with all of that showcased, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video because I can't talk anymore.
In the name of all that is good, your wrath upon this world is over. Look, lady, I'm the god of war. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay, there you go. That is it for the Wonder Woman showcase. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole thing, guys. I really appreciate it. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe found yourself inspired to make your own minifigures from the movie, then be sure to let me know by dropping this video a like below and or your opinion on either of these two minifigures down in the comments. Your feedback is the reason that I continue to work on minifigures every single day. So if you're personally offended by Steve Trevor's hairpiece or Wonder Woman's sword, the comments section is always right down there. And yeah. Aside from that, though, you can totally keep up with me with future projects such as Spider-Man Homecoming and The Flash Season 3. Going to be making the homemade suit, Vulture, a collaborative Savitar figure. It's going to be great, and it's always going to be all over on the Twitter, the Bookface, and the Instagram. Links to all three of those are always down in the description below, which is why I always recommend that, because as I've said before, way easier to post a preview on an unfinished figure than it is to actually like finish the figure and make a whole video. So yeah, on that note, guys, I'm going to go check out the movie on during a regular 2D screening, because there's no such thing as IMAX theaters in Western North Carolina, so it's great. But I'll catch you guys later. All right, bye-bye. What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today I'm going to be doing another custom LEGO minifigure showcase. Bump them on literally the first take. You know, any motherfucker. I'm going to be doing another. So I want them. Doing another custom LEGO minifigure showcase video. It happened after I decided I wouldn't make Steve Trevor. What? On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Really appreciate it. So if you wanted